Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Iris.
And I'm Luke.
And this is our very first video together. We decided to start a relationship channel together because we've been together for 2 years. And even though our relationship is not perfect, we feel that since we've stayed together for so long, we could help a lot of people out there that need relationship advice or are wanting to get into a relationship. And we can give you guys our strengths and our weaknesses and how we get through everything together.
Yeah, so in this video, we're going to basically be telling you guys how to get out of the friend zone. This may be more directed towards the guys, but even the girls, you can have a lot to look out for when the guys in your life are in the friend zone. And, you may need some tips with, getting them to just maybe stay there or get out of it. So we're going to kind of cover that in the video. But first, we want to tell you a little bit about how we started. And let me tell you straight up, I was in the friend zone for a long time, but it was a chill friend zone. I wasn't necessarily really trying to get with Iris or anything. And that's one of the main things that actually ended up turning her on, because she gets people hitting on her all the time. And I'm out here like just doing my thing. And we're going to cover a lot of steps, and having your own ambitions like I had was one thing that also kind of turned her on to me. And me not being crazy clingy about her all the time is one thing. But how else we started was pretty much, just hanging out as friends. She had some other guys that she would hang out with, which were also my friends and stuff. So we would all kick it. And I thought Iris was cool. Sooner or later, she basically got me a job at Joey's. And tell them how it went, man. It was...
So he recently graduated with his bachelor's in journalism at Wazoo. And after that, he was about to think about going into the 9-to-5 life, which he was a little skeptical about. So he came to me as a friend, and he asked me if he should take some time off and figure out his own thing, maybe get a job, work a little bit, or dive into the journalism world right away. And at that time, I gave him my unbiased opinion, and I was like, hey, if you're not sure, go ahead, work for a little bit, figure out what you want to do, and then see what direction you want to go.
Yeah, so basically she had a job at a cool restaurant in downtown Bellevue. If you guys are familiar with the Seattle, Washington area, Bellevue's a really nice kind of ritzy area and everything. So I ended up she's like, hey, Luke, get a job here. I'm sure you'll get the job. So I went in there, and they have a pretty crazy high standard for people that work there, but somehow I guess I was able to just kind of communicate my way on into it. But I was in there working for a while. Iris and I just started hanging out after working, and still just as friends and everything. And then soon everyone's in the restaurant like, hey, are you guys seeing each other? You're all together all the time and all this. And then I was just like, whoa, this is getting a little weird. We're just friends. And
It was really funny because when people would ask us that, we'd be like, no, we're just friends. What are you talking about? But then I guess it's kind of started building the idea in our head that the thought of us together could be something. But we always kind of just pushed it away because we didn't want to ruin our friendship. That's a big problem that people have nowadays, is that when they are in the friend zone and they're starting to develop feelings for the other person, they don't know if it's worth risking the friendship or just diving into it.
Yeah, it's a pretty sticky situation, but in this video, we want to drop some tips for you guys, so stay tuned.
All right, guys, so for step number 1, it's going to be don't be too nice. In my experience, I really don't like when I feel like a guy can be walked all over. If he's too nice to me, it kind of makes me think that he doesn't take charge. And believe me, a lot of women I know, they like kind of the alpha male. They like a guy that can take charge, that can stand his ground and not get walked all over by a female. Okay,
now this, I have a lot that I can say about it because I've seen a lot of nice guys come and try and buy Iris lunch, take her out, do this, buy her this, and this. And it really comes down to finding the balance between, for the male, the alpha male and the beta male. I feel like I have a nice middle ground for, having some of the alpha male and having some of the beta male, being in touch with both sides of my life and everything. And that's what you gotta have. You don't want to be too much of an a-hole, but you don't want to be walked all over. And finding that middle ground is really going to be what can show your girlfriend or, your boyfriend that you are a very well-rounded person in that regard.
Yes, definitely.
So the second big thing that you guys want to think about is being able to hold your own as a person, being an individual, not having to rely on all these other people to hold up your feelings and your self-worth and your self-esteem. People these days get so thrown around, and it's really just the fact that they are relying too much on others and what others think of them and stuff. So being able to hold your own is really important, and just having a ton of hobbies, whether you're a female who likes makeup and working out and stuff, or a male who likes sports and working out as well. I mean, that's a great thing. We all need to work out, but it's something that you have to be able to have some individual characteristics about yourself, and that's super attractive for anybody. Like, I can look at Iris, I see her doing her modeling and whatnot, and I'm like, she's got her own thing going for herself, whereas I have a ton of things that I have for myself, building my own business and everything else like that. We're doing a lot on our own, basically, and it's just super exciting. Do you have anything to add on that one?
Yeah, so I really thought that Luke was a great guy because he had his own hobbies. He has like a gazillion hobbies, and he didn't make me feel like I was the only option in his life, which is kind of a thing for women. They don't want to feel like they're the only thing in a guy's life. They want their guy to like be able to branch out, have his own things to do, and not only make us their world. That's what's healthy in a relationship. You shouldn't make that other person like your only thing to be with or do. You should be able to have other things going on in your life to balance everything out.
Yeah, so that's going to lead us into step number 3 for you guys to break out of the friend zone. It's a simple one, but you know, if you got a crazy heartthrob for this person, it's going to be a little difficult, because step number 3 is just don't be too clingy.
I've had experience with guys going over the top, and that's wonderful and everything, it really is, but girls are a little bit taken aback if a guy is buying them like so many dozens of roses, is constantly calling them every day, constantly hitting them up, is all over their social media. We don't really like that. We get a little scared, we get a little like, oh my god, why is he doing this? This isn't really that normal. So we kind of like that balance where the guy gives us our space and it keeps us wondering about him.
So you can kind of catch the theme of this video. It's pretty much just building up yourself and building up your partner, and both you guys got to be individuals. Don't be relying too much on the other person, and realize that when you build yourself up to a high level, your partner's going to want to get there too. So you're both going to benefit yourselves, and it's just an all-around win-win when you can come together at the end of the day.
Yeah, you both have to be able to be your own people before you can love each other. That's a big step. Okay, so step 5 is you should have your own ambition and goals. I find it really great that Luke actually has his future planned out and he wants to be somebody. He strives to be successful in life. And I'm sure every woman and every guy loves that. They want a partner that actually has a plan, that wants to do something with themselves so that they can grow together.
You can see memes of things saying it's attractive to see a broke guy with ambition, and just the opposite for a rich guy with no ambition. So
yes,
having ambition is huge, and it's gonna make girls just turn on for you.
And you know, one thing that actually brought us together was when we were friends and we would hang out after work together. We would sit down, grab a drink, and then we would talk about our goals for the future and what we wanted to see for ourselves. And we would stare in each other's eyes and literally have so much passion about what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives that we kind of built this connection with each other, and it started making me think like, oh, Luke's actually like really cool. He has his future planned, he knows what he wants, and he's gonna strive to get it. And that was really important in us happening.
All right, now step number 5 is gonna be a tough one to break through this boundary, but you got to be able to hang out with her girlfriends and have them even like you, okay? They're going to have the biggest weighing factor on your girl or your guy's subconscious when they're people that they're getting all their influence from. So when you can show up and have your girlfriend or boyfriend's friends actually like you and talk about you, that's a super good sign that you're in good water.
It is, and I definitely like to hang out with my friends and keep a relationship, but at the time when we were still friends, I would always go hang out with my girlfriends, and it was nice knowing that I could invite Luke to any of the social gatherings I had and know that there would be no problem. Like, he wouldn't be awkward, he would talk to all of them, he would make them all feel comfortable, and they all loved him. And then after that, they would come up to me and be like, Luke's pretty cool. Like, what's his deal? Like, they wanted to know more about him. And that's exactly what you need in a partner.
And just some quick tips for anyone, like, because I like to talk and stuff. Maybe if you're a little more shy and you don't like to talk, just maybe ask your friend that you're still friends with, trying to get with them or whatever. Ask them a little bit more about what their friends like to do, so that by the time you get there, you have some insight on what they like to do. It's just like studying up before you go meet someone famous. You want to know what they like to do so that you can spark a conversation. Next thing you know, you're hitting it off with their friends. They're going to share the good news with your partner, and it's all good.
Okay, so step number 6 is you can't be a player. You can't be talking to a bunch of other dudes or girls, and it's just not attractive. I think that anyone finds it unattractive to see someone that they could potentially like just talking to a bunch of girls or guys all the time. Hitting on them, flirting with them. It does not make us feel comfortable, and it will probably turn us off.
Yeah, I mean, being a player, it's something that's going to put you in that too alpha, too masculine category that, you know, it might make your girl jealous and you might think that's cool, but honestly, they're going to think you're a total D-bag and not going to want to get with you, especially for the long term. And these guys that have girls for the short term, nothing is meaningful in that relationship. Nothing feels as good as it does when you love somebody. And it's just so much better when you actually are really intimate with that person and not a total D-bag. So it's like that. Basically what I can say for this is keep yourself occupied with wholesome things. Have some other hobbies. Don't just be your hobby being girls, okay, or guys. Yeah. Like, have your own thing about you that you like to do. I love to skate. I love to work out. I mean, talk with people, build my business. I have so many hobbies I don't want to mention because they're just, some of them are more nerdy than the others, but you know, I like to do my thing. And I mean, Iris, super attractive girl. She now accepts that I do a lot of the things that I like to do, and I've
always liked it.
It's super cool.
Thought it was cute. But yeah, when we go for a person, we want to see potential in them. And that other person talking to a bunch of other people and flirting with them makes us not see that potential, and you don't want that, I'm sure. So yeah.
Well,
so that kind of wraps up our 6 steps into how to getting out of the friend zone. And I just want to end it with saying that most relationships start with a friendship. So if you're already there, then you kind of already have an outlet to get in and be more than friends if that's what you really want to do. So don't give up hope. Try to follow these steps and you should be okay.
Last little bit of advice from me. If you're already in kind of the friend zone, but you can feel it, that gut level feeling that she's kind of in you or he's kind of in you, stick with it because it's so much better than these Tinder relationships that are just met on a whim. And you know, you're never too certain about those things anyway. You don't know the person's background. I knew Iris years before we even started dating and stuff.
Yeah,
so
we were friends for like 5 years and we've been together 2 years. So I really like that I know him inside and out. I know like where he grew up and everything. And that's brought us a lot closer together, is starting that friendship first as a foundation.
Yeah, I've never really had a girl like Iris that I've known for this long before we started dating and whatnot. So it's like this relationship is the biggest one for me by far. Okay, I've gone to college and everything, but like nothing has amounted to what this is now. And it started from that friendship, building in the attraction phase, the learning more about her, seeing her individual personality that was so much different than a lot of other people these days. And it just stood out to me, and next thing you know, we're making videos.
Yeah, so I hope you like this video, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know what you want us to talk about in the future, because we definitely want to make more videos and content for you guys.
Yep, we'll see you in the next video, guys.
Okay.
Peace out.
Bye.